This is it? You're going to sit there and eat?
Not really, because it keeps getting stuck in my teeth.
That's hot. Tell me more.
I'm sorry, I didn't take my vitamins either.
Those look like horse tranquilizers, not vitamins.
I actually feel better when
There's like 20 of them in there.
I can sometimes. Okay, so like in the video, when they're advertising, is this big gym dude, and he cracks open the plastic, and he's dumping them out in his muscular hands, and he's talking about like, I don't want to meet the person who can swallow this all these in a go.
So when's this going to turn you into that big gym dude?
That's not nice.
I'm just sitting here waiting.
Mm-hmm. Let's start the damn show.
Okay. Let's start the show after you take your plethora of horse pills.
Oh my god, this water's good.
Okay. It's water.
Okay, so welcome to Fiber Hustle. Episode
9.
9.
There we go. I got it right that time. Woohoo!
My name is Chip.
My name is Aaron.
I like to sew.
I like to knit and crochet.
And of course, you like to watch.
And we did it backwards. Sorry, episode 9.
Episode
We're going to give it to you
9.
again. Episode 9, 2018.
Okay, so Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Let's catch up for the folks who are just chewing at the bit to find out what we've been up to.
Oh, so much we've been up to.
Have we?
Not really. The most exciting thing probably was last night when you screamed for a half hour because a spider ran by.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
In your defense, it wasn't a spider.
So we were watching...
It was a little hell child.
We were watching a movie on the Netflix. And we thought we were watching Bianca Del Rio's new movie. But we ended up watching The Package. And a totally, completely different movie. And it's about these 13... Well, no, they're like
18, 17, 18-year-olds.
Yes, well, yeah. So they're high school kids, and they're going on this camping trip, and I'm like, when's Bianca going to come into this show? So I'm ironing and working on my stuff, and all of a sudden, like, directly in front of me on the floor was this huge spider. And of course, the iron goes up, and I freeze.
I felt like you screamed, then froze.
No, there was no screaming.
May the Lord strike you down. In his defense, I'm assuming all Pacific Northwest is like this. We have spiders called wolf spiders, and usually in August, September, October, they start to make their way inside the house. They're disgusting. They're huge. I've seen cats run away from them. They're like
this was big. Like big with the feet.
Yeah, like I don't know if any of our Pacific Northwest friends have the same things. I don't understand how they get into the house. They're so big. I don't know if they ring the doorbell when we're not here and just find a key under the mat and come in, because there's no way these spiders can get under the cracks.
I knew, like, just in an instant that it was a spider.
What's that?
Yeah, name tag. It said spider.
Yeah, name tag. It said spider. But they are disgusting.
And that's Aaron work, as far as I'm concerned.
And I hate spiders. I don't mind snakes. Spiders freak me out. And then this week also.
No, don't tell that yet.
I was going to tell something you probably don't know. No, you know, because you yelled again.
That's what that story is going to come at the end of the show.
Okay.
Well, what don't I know?
Well, I don't know. I was talking about our other little visitor.
We had another visitor. Stay tuned. Cliffhanger. There's more.
We want to talk about the part I screamed this week?
What'd you scream?
For your stash?
Oh, God.
This one, was it Monday? Comes in. And
no, this one's on the couch. And goes, ice cream.
I do not do that.
He went, ice cream.
No, I said,
and so I said,
Chip, man, please have some ice cream.
That is not true. And you know what? In all honesty, I said, you're going to need a hold because I need to go take a shit because my Kashi kicked in. Have you guys ever eaten kashi? It like does a huge number on me. Like it's like a bulldozer.
Yes.
So 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, yeah, I'll get your ice cream, but I gotta go take a shit.
Before that, he goes, I have to be honest with you. I may have like more fabric than I've told you about. So he's like showing me his whole fabric stash. He puts it back.
I'm having a cleansing moment.
He's trying to purge, but
literally
getting rid of nothing. So we're sitting there, and I hear.
No, I was purging my soul. I'm telling him, hey, look, this is what has arrived, and I've immediately stowed away.
Yes. Well, he must have packed them differently, because I hear things starting to move.
Oh, this is me after I go up?
Yes, this is when you're upstairs, and I hear crack.
Oh, and then
like,
I hear screaming.
I'm not screaming.
You're screaming. Yelling. And I'm like on the turtlet.
So I go, what is happening? I come in here, and all of a sudden I'm seeing his stash has 4 different rows.
Columns.
He must have put heavy ones on top because things started going coming down, and then they start moving over. So I'm like doing this and trying to grab things and trying to get everything in there, and everything's just coming down and falling over into my yarn stash. So I'm taking down
his
one
yarn stash that's almost as equally as high and wide.
That's incorrect. So I'm taking down all these things, but yet each individual column or whatever keeps on going down. Which
so
I think I
I'm
found
here
more
screaming,
of your stash
and
than
I'm
you're hiding.
scrambling to finish what I gotta do upstairs. So I run down Sans ice cream, and he's like in the middle of all of my sins. Everything is just strewn everywhere. All of my precious is just everywhere. But even with my fabric related avalanche, the cat is fine.
The cat is fine. He was very curious, and basically we have put you on probation from not buying anything fabric-wise until you said after the holiday.
Yeah, okay, with one caveat that we'd agreed on. I might need some backing.
That's fine.
I might need some,
Yep, you don't.
No, I might need some backing and batting.
Alright. So basically we're going to cancel Had to Have It for a few weeks or months.
Oh, we can go in our stash and say, hey,
I forgot about this. Didn't know I had it.
Mm-hmm. Shop in your stash. Had to have it.
Oh my gosh.
The best of Had to Have It.
the best of Had to Have It. The 2018 wrap-up of Had to Have It.
Mm.
Other than that, I'm trying to think what else. I went to the Pearl Jam show, the Friday show last week. How was it? It was amazing.
I didn't go.
It was great. My friend Brian and I went. It was 3.5 hours of rock and roll for a good cause to give money to the Seattle homeless. A lot of proceeds were donated to that, which got me thinking. I haven't made any scarves or hats this year for Mary's Place or some of the homeless shelters around here, which means I need to get started on that. I've been kind of focusing on making stuff for myself, which is fine, but usually every year I take a big donation down, so I need to get going on that.
And you know what else you came upon to realize? You were looking through the Instagram because I'm blowing it up this week. What?
Yes, you're blowing Instagram up.
And
this is my 1 year anniversary of knitting.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
On my personal Instagram, I put a picture of my hat last year. It was a little wonky, but I think it was a pattern. I think I watched YouTube. It was a Knit Picks, some kind of hat that had a stripe in it. I forget what the Ben Franklin hat. I don't remember. But yeah, so this is my month of a year of knitting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I think I've done a lot, but do you ever think like maybe you should be farther? But then again, you always keep on learning your craft, so
here's the thing. Until somebody brand spanking new comes along and all of a sudden you have to get outside yourself and actually guide them, then all of a sudden you realize, oh my God, I actually do know a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, just in the last month.
You know what?
The last shawl and stuff like that. And
I need to praise you like I should.
Praise you
should.
We got distracted. Okay. With that, should we? Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No. I agree that I'm gonna put myself on restriction.
Yeah. That.
Wait.
Chip is
December
on
when?
On lockdown.
December when?
How about we just do January 1st, 2019?
When?
January 1st, 2019. Which really is not that far away.
Which is fine because I have things that the elves have yet to send me. So, like, I can count on that. No, these were pre-orders.
Okay.
I've got Allison Glass pre-order. I've got Juicy Juice.
Juicy Juice.
Dude, these are some good fabrics, yo.
Coming in pre-order, if anybody watching this, I've been looking for like a yarn advent calendar like people got last year. If you have any comments or suggestions, put them below because I'd like to do one this year. And a couple people have reached out to me from Instagram and suggested some stuff.
For yourself?
Which
or
looks good. Oh, for myself.
For me.
Why would I get you yarn?
I don't want yarn stuff.
I know.
Fabric.
I've been trying to find fabric ones.
No, so the funny thing
it was, but actually one person said there's probably a fabric one.
No, so this
calendar.
is where the cleansing all came from because he's like, well, what kind of fabric do you look for and blah blah fat quarters, and I'm starting to tell him, and I'm like, well, thinking that he's starting to think about GIFs, and I'm like, okay, so maybe I ought to show and share my shaft. Oh my God, no, my stash.
That can be shared as well, but inside the house.
Why?
If Jody can talk about her vajayjay all day, we can talk about the shaft.
Oh, Lord. No, so if he's going to get me any GIFs, like, he needs to know what's in the stash, right? It just makes sense. So I'm like, okay, now's good as time as any to, like, bare my craft soul, my stash soul.
And you bared it.
I bared it, and then all of a sudden it just freaking.
This floor.
It was like a jack-o'-lantern and confetti just came out.
It was awesome.
So anyway, yes, I would like a advent calendar too, and that's the fun thing is that there's ones out there that like, do you want something that lasts all month that you're building upon?
I think most.
But then
like
you're responsible
days.
to keep like on top of that, and it's like everybody's busy during that. Or do you want mini little GIFs?
I think
each day.
The yarn ones are mostly mini skeins, but they range from like $80 to like $290. I'm like, oh. Again, I get it. It's a process, especially if somebody's
what is
making
the structure?
Mini skeins.
What does the structure mean to you? So, like, is that something that you would want to reuse? And like, I'm supposed to
the structure
fill that? Like, I think it would be fun to like find bare bones.
Fill the box.
I would like to find a bare bones. What do you call it?
Advent calendar.
Advent calendar that
and we
can
like
paint.
pick our own stuff.
We decorate it, and then I take ownership of yours, and you take ownership of mine, and it's like by December 1st, it's got to be filled.
The problem with that is, no matter what people give me, I'm always like, "Oh, this is great, thank you." And Chip grew up the way of. What this is?
Do you have the receipt for this?
Yes, I've never returned a gift in my life.
What are you talking about? I mean, like, so the whole thing is, it like sometimes sometimes you gotta call the baby ugly. You know, not every gift is a winner. So if you're gonna, it's the thought that counts, and say, hey, look, I've called up people and say, you're never gonna guess what you got me. I love it.
That's what I returned.
And you know, that's fine. They're like, good. I'm glad you went out and got yourself. So I mean, like, it's nice that they didn't just give you a gift card because that's lazy in my opinion.
That is kind of
But if any of you want to send a gift card to your store, I'll be glad to take it. But like
10s and 20s, Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into the making.
No, so anyway, but if any of you have an idea of like a bare bones, like what's really, really good, like if you've had good luck with an advent calendar company or made your own, let's talk about it in the comments.
For yarn and fabric.
Fabric.
All
right.
Assuming there would be something that had fat quarters or something.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
And now's the
Everything's
time.
exciting.
Because, like, if you are going to order
It has
one,
to be ported. Like a lot of them said, pre-order by the end of August.
like, we're getting to that time.
I'm not ready yet. I'm ready for the air not to be so smoky here with all the forest fires, but I'm not ready for summer to be. It's all right. Just keep on.
No.
People love to watch people eat on YouTube.
You know what? There's these shows that everybody talks about. Oh, I'm having this tea, and I'm having this coffee, or I'm having this croissant, or something. They're talking about it. Oh,
we have a show that's knitting in. Okay.
No.
This is going to be an episode, eh?
Yo. Speaking of crazy stuff that you watch on YouTube, ASMR. I want you all to look at it. It's like all the kids in like elementary school, junior high, high school, they know all about it. I'm a little late. ASMR. And auto something like Alexa. What does ASMR stand for?
ASMR is an abbreviation of Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, is a term used for an experience characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation on the skin that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine.
That's it. Thanks, Alexa.
There's these people that talk to the camera. They whisper. And like, no. Like, tap on something. Or they'll take a skein of yarn and they'll stroke the skein of yarn so you can slightly hear it. And you feel like all this relaxation and it goes on for like 30 minutes. Or they'll put an imaginary wig on your head and then they'll start brushing your hair. Oh yeah, they put the imaginary wigs. Sorry, I'm going to bring it up. Imaginary wigs on like the camera and brush the hair.
Yeah. ASMR. Crazy thing. So, I think we should
start our own channel?
You know what? Paperclip. Find me a paperclip.
No, we're good.
The bending, it's like really relaxing to watch me bend it for 30 minutes.
What was the thing we used to do in elementary school? Something with the pencil when you make it spin. Oh, the ruler and the pencil. When you put the ruler on top of the pencil. Anybody remember that? Feel it? That was always a time.
No, we did the little paper things that you would fold up and you go like this. And you'd have
Does Jimmy love me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. How many kids we have? No, that was for the girls, not for the boys. So.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. You did the football thing. Yeah. Little, you know, the flickety-flick football.
I didn't do any of that.
Where you didn't do...
I saw it being done, but I wasn't... I just went to school and... I went to school.
Well, you know what, Aaron?
I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't cool. I wasn't beat up. I was just the average person.
He was long-haired and in his basement.
I had gorgeous hair. I was a musician. I looked like a hood, but I wasn't a hood. Okay, let's just get it.
I've had my snack. I bared my soul.
Well,
we've reminisced. Now it's time to get into the show. So, Aaron, you made that? You made that?
I did that. I have a crocheted item this week, and it is the Autumn Morning Button Cowl, which we'll put right there. It is by Jennifer Dickerson, and I think it's on the Fiberflux site, but you can also find it on Ravelry. And
it looks exactly like it.
Yeah, so it does kind of. But I can't tell you what the yarn is that I use because it was in my stash because I'm kind of really trying to stash bust. I started to make a crochet hat yesterday that in my head was going to look cool. And it's not looking cool, so I have to rip that all apart. But anyways, it's a free pattern, lots of double crochets, lots of chain stitches. And it kind of felt nice to crochet because I haven't done that for a while. And then I put this huge button on it. I don't remember where I got the button. I think it might have been a AliExpress
That looks like a
order.
coconut shell.
It does look like a coconut shell. So then you can kind of just... Excuse me if the mic's working and goes over. I guess it probably looks better with a jacket on or something.
No, I love it. I love the color. It's bright and sunny, especially if, you know, like when you're getting into autumn.
Yeah, or I think it's supposed to actually go like this as well. Well,
yeah.
I haven't figured out how to wear it yet, but this is what's happening with it. And I'm pretty sure this is acrylic yarn. But it was kind of exciting to make something different. And I think the pattern's been out for a few years. But
you know what? The grocery girls, they were talking about like how they're not yarn snobs per se. Like they were talking about, like they're not going to pass up acrylic yarns just because they see the word acrylic. Like they have come up a long way. You can get really nice feeling. They wear well. They wash well.
Yeah, I usually like acrylic blends. 100% acrylic still kind of, well, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of them that do feel really good, and some of them still kind of feel that scratchy. But I'm pretty sure this
What
is
does Vanna use?
acrylic. Vanna has her own line.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's 100% acrylic, but that feels good. What is it? Lion Brand's Vanna White line.
Ooh.
A lot of my first makes that I crocheted were out of that because I like the colors, and who doesn't love Vanna White? I mean, her and Pat have to be raking in the dough.
That's an interesting job.
I know. I mean,
Designing yarn.
designing yarn. I mean, how do you say it? Just like, I want acrylic and I want green. And they go, here, Vanna, how about these color selections? She's like, oh, that and that. Is that? I don't know how it works.
Oh, I just learned of a new term, strike-offs.
What's that mean?
So if you're a designer and they're sending you like the prototype, it's a strike-off.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, because Mr. Domestic, who designs fabric, he just is coming out with his new line, and he got the strike-offs that came in. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, strike-offs. Where do I get some? I guess I have to design.
Oh. I would like to be a designer. Some of these patterns I've been making, I do not understand where these ideas come from. The color work, I can kind of understand. You probably see that in your head. But like as far as like some of the Stephen West stuff, I'm like, I don't understand. And the Jared Flood stuff, I mean, does a designer sit there for like 8 hours and like knit this one part of this sleeve and go, this isn't right, and then go back and...
Well, I know how I would do it. I would sketch.
Yeah. I just want to see the whole process, how that works.
Boo, your process.
Don't want to hear about it. But anyways, this is all I have done for You Made That, just because it's been 2 weeks and
You've been deep into what you make.
Yeah, I've been deep into my what are you making. But Chip, you made that?
Honey, I am blowing it up the roof this week. Gotta say. So, RJR Designs, the Jelly Roll quilt. I'm sorry, the Jelly Roll rug
love this.
Going around and around and around.
Love it.
A lot of the crafters are making it right now, but you get it round and round and round because it's Jelly Roll rug.
You spin me right.
Okay, so I am going to take you into my process for the Jelly Roll rug by RJR Designs. So I'm going to follow suit to everybody else who has been talking about this pattern. I am not going to share the tricks because you do got to support the designer and buy the pattern to exactly find out what the recipe calls for. But what I can share with you is that I started out with, she recommends one jelly roll, and a jelly roll is going to give you 42 strips of 20, about 42-inch long strips, and there's usually about 40 strips at 2.5 inches wide. But I went for a Cafe Faust fat quarter bundle, and there was 20 different fabrics in this mix, and I used 18 of them. Out of all those crazy colors and patterns, everything, 2 didn't make the cut.
Yeah, we sat there for what?
Cut. So what did end up, I took, I took my AccuQuilt cutter, and then I made, this isn't the right one, but I made 2.5-inch strips out of my fat quarters. So I made my own. And what's really nice is that in your jelly roll, you get 2 of each strip, but if you cut your own out of fat quarters, you'll get 3 of each strip, which makes the party even more fun because you get even more fabric out of it, and probably at the same price.
Neato.
Right on. So you're gonna need, let me show the damn rug. So ta-da!
I'm gonna hold aside.
Yep, Cafe Faust.
I love it.
Jelly roll rug. Oh, yay!
It's almost a little squishy, which is nice as well.
Yeah, that's the batting, and I am so proud. We can lay it flat. I'm so proud because
of the wonderful things he does.
it actually lays flat. It wasn't bowing. Yep, and it feels. I love the feel of it. Yeah,
I like it a lot. I would like one.
So yeah, so yours, this wouldn't fit in your bathroom. So we're gonna do I also ordered the rectangle version of the pattern, and it was a lot of fun. You would need 2 of the batting roll strips. So you can cut your own if you have lots of batting to spare, but it's easier if you just buy the strips. These I got for like $10 a piece on Nancy's Notions, and they arrived nice and quick. So I got a bunch of these. And so your pattern is going to take a jelly roll rug or a fat quarter bundle. It'll take 2 of these. Actually, mine end up being, so if you get 2 of these and you do the jelly roll, that's 50 yards. If you go this route, it ends up being like 60 some yards. So you get a little bit, you get more mileage. So you would need just a little bit more of the batting roll strips. You'll also need
so much cutting.
Like I used a polyester 50 weight thread. A good trick is that you want to fill up about 6 of your bobbins ahead of time, and then when your bobbin runs out, boop, you just switch. You don't have to keep filling in the middle of your sewing. So do about 6 of those at least. Now, when I originally started putting this together, I had my stitch length and my stitch width the wrong setting, and I went for a pretty tight width and a short stitch length. As soon as I opened it up, because I actually tore it out because it was so tight, it was just puckering and it was bowing, and I'm like, this isn't working out right. So I went back to the directions, and then I went back to online. I don't remember who I was watching, but there was a couple of people, and the consensus is that you want your widest stitch width and then loosen up on the stitch length. I think I used like maybe a 3.0 stitch length, but I think mine was like either a 7 stitch width. And as soon as I did that, I mean, like, the process just went really slow. I didn't get any more of the puckering, and just loved it.
The process went really slow?
Did I say slow? I meant fast. Okay. I meant fast. And then the other thing you need is a jeans needle. It doesn't matter what brand, but just make sure that you have a jeans needle, because you're going through a lot of layers. Some people have
So it's actual jeans, like
jeans needle.
Okay.
Yes, because it's
so
actually
thick,
it's actually sharper, and it's designed for a lot of weight. Yeah, so like this was very fun. It took me maybe an hour at the very most to cut all of my strips. Again, using the AccuQuilt. And then I'm like, I ordered the batting roll, and it took like a week and a half, and I finally canceled. I won't say what website it went through. It was not Amazon, because Amazon didn't have it either. So I finally was like, yeah, I'm going to cancel that order. And then I ordered it from Nancy's Notions, and it was like cheaper. And it was like within a couple of days it came in. Nice. So, yeah. So this is what I made this week.
I love it. And I want one in my bathroom, and I want one in the front door as well.
So, yeah. So we can pick out the fabric that we're going to use. I mean, the one thing that I would recommend is that actually the front and the back, either way, they both look great. But you do want a non-slip pad underneath it, just because it's not slippy, but at the same time, be careful.
How do you think it's going to hold up with moisture and water, like after you get out of the shower and stuff like that?
So that's one thing I do want to do is I want to treat it with some water repellent, or like give it a bath in some kind of soil protectant, like Scotch Guard it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it kind of takes me back to like when my grandmother, like she had those rugs, and I'm so happy I did this.
I love it.
This was one of those projects that you're like, am I really gonna like this? Is this just a crafty project? But no, this is something I'm actually gonna use, and I can't wait. This is gonna be a couple of gifts that I'll be making for other people for holidays this year.
It's fun. I like it a lot.
So that was you made that?
That's all you have?
That's all I have.
Which this is a lot, so don't get me wrong.
No, because
I didn't mean it like that.
We both are knee deep in
Summer.
What are you making?
Yeah.
Like things that we're actively making right now.
C. Do you want to start with what are you making? Since we're on you anyway.
What am I? Mine's going to be a little bit more in depth. What do you think?
I will start. Okay. Here's what I am making currently. As you know, I am making the Lion Brand Neighborly Cardigan. Neighborly, is it Neighborly Cardigan?
I believe so.
Neighborly Cardigan. I am using Lion Brand's color of avocado. It's a wool and an acrylic mixture. And I finally finished the back, which this isn't going to be very exciting for anyone because this is just the back of it. It looks like stockinette stitch. It's kind of puckering because of the sides. I use
What do you mean it's puckering?
It's rolling in.
Oh, it's rolling
Not
in.
puckering, it's rolling in. But yeah, so I used, I think it was 3.75 needles for the rib, and the rest of it, to get gauge, I had to go up a needle to 5.0, and I just binded off, whatever, the top last night, which I'm kind of excited about. It took me a lot longer to get there than I thought it would. So I just did the sleeve.
What was the thing that you were looking up that you said there was two different, like in the U.S. we say one thing and somewhere else? What was that?
Well, it said bind off and cast off. Well, one said, I think it said cast off, or which one was it? It said right shoulder, I don't know. Can't find it right now, but it said cast off, and I was making sure it was the same as bind off, or the vice versa. And they said, oh, in the UK they probably pretty say bind off, and here they say cast off. So I was kind of confused because I had to do, I had to cast off some for the right shoulder, then I had to cast on a new ball of yarn, and then cast off again. So I had two yarn balls going, which is first for me. These instructions, I don't know if I'm just not getting some things. Is this my first cardigan pattern without doing something in the round? But I looked up on Ravelry, and some people even said they're like, for a new knitter it might be hard because there might be a few mistakes in here. But they never said what the mistakes are. But like just one part that confused me, example, it says on the first shoulder bind off this, and then on the other shoulder, then it starts saying on the left shoulder, then it goes back to end on the first shoulder. I think it would be easier if they said right shoulder, left shoulder the whole time, or first shoulder, second shoulder the whole time. But they're kind of mixing and matching it through this whole thing.
So that's great. That's really good feedback. I totally agree.
Yeah.
That you don't, I mean, like if you're going to, it's all about creating a language that your user is going to understand.
Yeah.
And so like in the beginning, they're going to say left shoulder, right shoulder, or second and first. Like use your language and then stick to it.
Exactly.
That's great feedback.
Yeah, and it's like even at the beginning, because we're not knitting in the round, but it said, so I knit one, purl one, so I'm doing ribbing, basically. Then on the way back, so I knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. On the way back, it said second row, knit the knit stitches and purl the purls. So I actually did that, but I wasn't getting the ribbing. But if I was doing it in the round, this probably doesn't make sense to you, I would knit my knits and purl my purls to get the ribbing. But since I was going this way, it kind of didn't make sense. And also, once I finished this and I'm starting the left side, it wants me to...
There's your right.
L. The L makes the left. So it said knit one, purl one, then repeat, then knit the last two stitches, then it says row 2, knit 1, purl 1 across, then repeat 1 and 2. So the last 2 stitches, am I really supposed to knit both of them on the first time each time? Because I don't feel like that would give me a ribbing up to like here, then it wouldn't. So that's what I'm kind of confused about that. Like, why would I knit the last 2 stitches if it was ribbing? It would go knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, not knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, knit, then purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. So that's some things that I'm semi-confused about with this pattern, but
Now, did you read the pattern before you started?
yes. Well, yes.
Did you?
Yeah. Why would I lie?
Because you're just now
Well,
confused?
No, it was, there's several pages of this pattern, so I kind of went through it and made sure.
So you glossed over it.
Yes, I glossed over it, but it was just one of those things that just jumped at me when I actually got there.
Okay, so whether you knit, crochet, or you sew, you should always read the pattern. A lot of us will gloss and say, yep. Oh shit.
You are a potty mouth today.
Yeah, I am.
We need the soap bar.
Sorry, but it's true. Like, a lot of us will just gloss over, or they think, oh yeah, I got it. Oh, I don't got it.
Well, I think I got it. I just don't know if the pattern makes sense, but maybe it's some new trick all the kids are doing that I don't even know anything about.
No, but then in your defense is that their directions are wonky. Like, they've got to be able to, whoever's writing a pattern has to be able to eliminate every possible question mark.
Yeah.
And
For people like me.
for people like you, yeah, because it's like you have to realize it's not just going to be like, does this say this is for new knitters or this for?
It said Easy Plus.
Oh, that's right. That's your prison name.
My prison name is Easy Plus. I don't even know what that would mean. But yeah, so if anybody out there has made the neighborly cardigan, let me know if you've had the same issues, or some people were like, "What? You're crazy."
Well, wait. Did you finish the back?
Were you just here?
Yeah, I'm just like I'm actually considering all of your
Yes, this
hiccups. So
this
it's all
is
finished.
The back that is finished.
All right. So what's next?
I'm starting on the left front.
Oh, that's right. Your left
The
front.
left front.
Okay, so you're
And-
gonna do that. So when do you do your sleeves?
That's one of the last steps. I do left front, then right front, then the sleeves, then I think I did the little collar thing here. Then I put it together. And then you add a zipper to it at the end.
Me?
Yeah.
I am afraid of that.
No, you're not.
No, you need to go to a class. Isn't there a class? Isn't there a class for you, and you'll meet your people that'll help you?
I don't know. I need to get out still and meet people.
I think you're gonna
I'm
be
shy.
fine.
I get nervous going out.
Oh, please.
Other than that, I have one other thing. I am doing
This is really good.
Dotted Rays, Stephen West, Dotted Ray Shaw again. This time I'm using the sock yarn that Chip provided me. It's I think it's Chappelle sock yarn, and this is I don't think they have a colorway, so it's number 227638. And so far, I think it's looking pretty
Oh my
awesome.
God, it is gorgeous.
It may not feel the best, all snuggly and soft,
Oh no.
but it still looks kind of good. I had 2 of the exact same balls, I thought. So I kind of was alternating, like a little bit of this ball, a little bit of that ball. Let me put it in here a little bit. So I was kind of alternating, but then for some reason, even though the same ball, the pattern and the yarn started to change. So I'm starting to knit with just one. Then once this one starts to change a little bit, I would add the second one and cut this one off and keep on doing that. Because eventually, I need to bring this guy into the mix, which is not the same as this one. This is number 227639, which looks about the same, but this one has more blue in it. So eventually I'm going to have to add this in to get the right size.
No, I absolutely adore.
It's a lot more color than I'm used to, but I still think with this face, I'm going to pull it off.
I'm not here to argue.
No, but I'm excited about it. I guess my ban on knitting a fingering weight is off for a while. This has been enjoyable. But I guess with the shawl, though, also is I'm not worried as much about tension and stuff. And like if I was actually doing a sweater or a cardigan or something like that. Or maybe even... Since it's sock yarn, I'm not worried. I'm still haven't knit a pair of socks yet.
You are making a lot of progress on this.
Because if anybody's done this pattern, for some reason this pattern is just the bee's knees. I love doing it. Like my first one, I love doing it, and that's why right away I wanted to make the second one because something about this pattern just keeps me coming back. Which it was the best money
That's a
I've
testament
ever
to
spent.
Mr. West.
It is. It's just really fun, and it's weird to say that a pattern's really fun to make, but it was really fun, and it is really fun.
I mean, like so we had ladies' night the other night where our friends came over and we did appetizers, masks, and gossip.
Oh, it was fun.
Which turned into, you made that? So his, like every make within the last year, like he had tub after tub after tub, but his like shining moment. No, you had two shining moments.
So I had they loved my last shawl, but they love my Mercer muffs as well. I have tons of muffs because eventually I might work a craft show or I might give them away. Don't know what's happening. They saw the last one I loved, but they also, if you remember from episode, let's say 3 or 4, the Getting Better cow I made that Chip said was kind of like armor. I don't know.
It looks like the cover. It looks like a candlestick.
Yeah, it was gray and green. They loved that as well. But
all three of them were like
you can't move and grab anything.
No, they don't want to.
I know.
Ladies don't want to move.
True. Our friend Deb, I said, I'm never gonna wear it, so you might as well just take it home. And the other girls were like, I want my own.
Asymmetric brunette, dark brunette, and it just looked really.
It looked really good on her.
It looked foxy on her.
Her hair was like cut here, and
she was sassy.
This way, and this, and yeah, she looks good. What? Some people get older, and all the hair here is moving everywhere down to here. I have no idea how
it's
that
called
happens.
migration.
I don't think ladies have the same problem, but I think the hair is sinking into my head and coming out my ears and my nose.
I noticed today
problems.
I have a gray hair on my wrist.
I do too, and I feel like I'm getting like the old man hands. Like,
I don't even recognize my hands.
Do they call them liver spots or something? I call them like, I don't know what to do about it.
What spots? I have.
Look at this.
Yep. Call the police. Because it ain't right.
It ain't right. But you know what? We made it this far and we're doing okay.
But you know what? Enough about you. How about me?
Apparently my segment is over.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
Chip, what are you making?
What am I making? I'm so glad you asked.
I know you are.
All right, so I am making a quilt. Like, I've got the energy, I've got the inspiration, and I'm gonna do another king size quilt because I like to make them go big. Okay, so while you were at your what concert was it?
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. I started creating on the Electric Quilt 8 software program. I started designing because I was inspired on the interweb. I was looking, and all of a sudden I came upon this design, and it was the Drunkard's Path, and it was a different take on it. But it was funny because it wasn't like the whole quilt that you could see, and we'll show you here. It's not the whole quilt that you can see. It's just a sliver of it, which was awesome because it wasn't like I was inspired by their entire thing and said, oh, I'm going to replicate that. I just took a little bit of what they had started and what I was inspired by, and I'm running with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I used that as my inspiration from the interweb, and then I went on Electric Quilt, and I'll show a picture here of the design I came up with. It took me a few hours of playing around. Then the next day, and this is like, what was that, last weekend? 2 weekends ago.
It was... Last weekend was probably on last Friday, so it must have been your Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
so I started doing the math, and then so I came up with all of my instructions of like what pieces I need and like how it's going to get laid out. And what I learned is that this is going to be, all said and done, it's going to be 1,367 pieces that I've got to assemble, which that's what I love. It's the challenge.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Now, do you know what the C word is in quilting?
Oh, in quilting, no.
Curves. This is all about curves. So I'm using the AccuQuilt companion set, and it's the Drunkard's Path, piece 11 and 12. And so like these turn into 4-inch pieces. So if you're doing a 4-up, 1, 2, and then like 3, 4, that'll complete one block, which is, and it turns out to be an 8x8, if that makes sense. So I spent literally, first I went and I grabbed my fabric. It's Allison Glass 76 line, and so it was a half yard of the entire collection, which I love, and we'll show you a picture of that as well. So what I ended up doing was taking the AccuQuilt strip cutter, and cutting out huge strips so that then I could just make the smaller pieces and I'm not wasting any fabric as I'm cutting out all of my pieces.
So organized.
Well, you have to be. So like we got 392, and I'm calling them the white corners. And what I love is that it even notches for you. So like when I'm piecing things together, all I have to do is line up the notches and I'm good to go.
Nice.
So you've got, then I also used the AccuQuilt 6-inch circle, because there's 67 of these circles involved in the pattern. And why I chose to do that, because I could take a typical, I need to use your space. A typical Drunkard's Path is 2 pieces. So you have this guy and you have this guy. And then what you do is you sew right here.
They join forces.
They join forces. And so this goes here and this ends up here, and then you sew, which turns into, do I have one done? Yes, which turns into this. Ooh. Which then I like to iron the white away so that you're not getting a double edge of white. Like if you look through it, I don't want more white showing. So I go back and I iron those, and then I have to line them up to create the 4, which then become,
nice.
Do that, and then those sewn together become this. Now, that's a lot of lining up, and this is my supplemental, what I'm considering for my pattern, this is going to be my supplemental look. The circle itself does, like even on the inside, is going to have lines in it, and that's your more traditional Drunkard's Path. What I am doing is taking circles with the Allison Glass fabric like this, but because it's so gorgeous, and I took all of the monochromatic whites with designs on them, I don't want any of the seaming involved. So on the blocks that like this, I didn't want any seaming to be showing through because there's going to be so much of that in the quilt itself. I want this to be a showpiece on the inside of that. So then that way I can do some extra special quilting on top of that. So that final look is going to be like this. So that it's all one solid, like a glass pane, versus having 4 with seams. So it's uninterrupted. So this is a rift on A Drunkard's Path, this portion, but then there's other pieces that also are going to go around here and around here. It's going to be more, I haven't done those pieces yet, but it's going to be more like this.
You gotta get closer.
Oh, I can't do it. I'm not going to show.
Okay.
But, so I'm working on this, and so far I wouldn't even tell you how many hours I have in.
Tell me.
Maybe, I probably have a good 24 hours in it already.
Wow.
And so, like, I've got all of my little other pieces that are, and it's like, that's it's the 76 line by Allison Glass.
Is that like her year she was born, or do we know?
Don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't know where that comes from or why that.
Oh, I thought of the gas station or the year she was born. By down, she would have the gas station on her fabric.
So right now I'm assembling all of the pieces, and for this project, Aaron, I do not have to go and buy any backing.
That's great, Chip.
I'm going to stash bust. So the same solid blue kind of denim looking is going to be on the backside and the binding.
That's fine.
That's fine?
That's fine.
Is that okay with you?
I would like that, please.
Yes, so that's what I am working on, and I am enjoying it. It's a lot. Okay, so talking about the C word, curve piecing. So it's interesting with the Drunkard's Path that so many people are like, they go out of their way introducing more and more and more steps so they can get around not having to sew on curves. And it's like, if you ever want to sew garments, whether it's a shirt, I mean, like, you've got the sleeves, you're always going to be sewing curves, and like, just do it. Yeah, because like I've seen people that are doing applique, but then they have to buy this sticky backing, and it's like, now you're introducing more cost just so that you can save on not having to sew a curve, which it is kind of funny, because don't think that it's easy, because it's not. I had my first, so like when I was first figuring out whether or not, you know, I was going to be able to do this, I did a practice That one turned out perfect. I don't know what happened. I'm good. But then I was doing one of these on the first curve piecing, and I was like, oh, I'm going to pin it in different spots, and it turned out so janky, and it had tucks and everything, and it was just like, that's why I cut out extra fabric. That's why I made more than I needed, because you know that you're going to mess up at some point. But for me, what's working is if I just don't use pins, and you have to take your time, and it has to be a labor of love, because it's not impossible. It's just, you have to, like, when you're sewing these at a 1/4 inch, you've got right here on this white fabric, there is no bias here. So this part, you can do like 3 or 4 stitches and there's no stretch. As soon as you start coming here, you're on the bias of the fabric, the way that the nap runs, and there's stretch there. So that's when you're taking advantage of sewing a curve. and it's just a matter of getting an even pull so that it's all even and you don't get any tucking, and then landing correctly on the backside. So even if there's mistakes, you can always iron it into submission and it's going to come out. I mean, like, I look at it this way. I don't need it to be store-bought perfect, because then why don't I just go out and buy a store-bought? You know, I want to be able to say, oh, it was not easy, but look what I did.
Yeah,
and
that's the way all our makes are.
And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Nice.
So that's what I'm making right now. The drunkard's
glass. What do you call it? Drunkard's glass.
Drunkard's glass.
So Drunkard's Path and Allison Glass combo.
Yes.
It's going to be a hit. It's going to take over the nation.
It is.
Trying to think what we have left, since we have nothing to show for You Had to Have It. We can move on to Me Knit Purdy Someday, or You Sew Purdy Someday.
Do Me Knit Purdy.
Me Knit Purdy Someday. As you know, I'm working on my 2 projects, which are going to be amazing. So it's time for me to start thinking about Christmas knitting or crocheting.
And Kwanzaa
for friends and Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, some stuff we haven't even heard of yet. I'm sure it's going to come out soon. I know my mom...
Why don't you say this with, like, Kitten Mittens?
Kitten Mittens. Does anybody watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I love it. Chip just got me this shirt 2 days ago it came.
Yeah.
Is your cat driving you crazy? It's Kitten Mittens for cats when they're walking. I think it's adorable. But anyways, Kitten Mittens.
So sell us whatever you're going to do with Kitten Mittens. Like, you're advertising for Kitten Mittens.
I'm not a very good salesman.
You can do it.
Is your cat driving you crazy? Is the noise constantly keeping you up at night? Kitten Mittens. It's the softest, so you don't hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a very good salesman.
No, but I was asking you, that was great and all, but I was asking you to sell Me Knit Purdy Someday with your Kitten Mittens spiel.
I don't have a kitten mittens.
Are your cats driving you crazy?
There's got to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way.
But anyways, I think Mother... That makes me sound like I'm like Bates Hotel or something. Mother wants a poncho. I've never made a poncho.
What's that? The difference between a poncho and a these other things you've been making?
Poncho, I think, is just something that has a hole in here and you don't have arms.
Does it have those strings with the pom-poms every so many inches?
It can. That's the beauty of knitting yourself. Or crocheting yourself.
And she can twirl.
She can twirl. She can Stevie Nicks it all night long. Stand back. So I need to find a poncho pattern. I know her favorite colors are greens and grays. Very particular about her green colors, though. Last year, I was like, hey, she wanted something, so I sent her some pictures when I was at the yarn store. She was like, no, maybe that one. I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't you just come with me next time or something like that? But she lives far away.
No, FaceTime.
I can FaceTime her. So I need a poncho and just like regular Christmas knits. Everybody usually gets a hat, but I'm like, do I want to do something different than a hat? But I can't make everybody a dotted gray shawl.
Oh my God! Like the girls' night, they all were like, "Oh, I want one."
Yeah, that took like a month or 2 to make. I mean, I don't know if it was that long, but then also that was
your first time.
It's not the cheapest yarn I made of it. And then maybe a surprise knit that you might see on the show here in a month or 2 that's just gonna blow your socks off. It's gonna blow your socks off or make you go, huh?
Not just the
one or the other.
There's gonna be a few surprise visitors.
Why? What are you doing?
No, you.
Oh, why?
Please listen.
Oh, I listen. Okay, but yeah, that's my...
If you listened, you would remember that there were several requested.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yes. We'll try to make that happen.
There's several.
Okay, yes, we're going to try to make this one thing happen. Maybe it'll show up on the show, or maybe I'll get frustrated and not do it. But I really would like to do it. Is this it? Is this
You know
as
what?
good as it gets?
This is as good. What if this is as good
What
as
if
it
this
ever
right
gonna
now
get?
is as good as it gets? That's why we have alcohol.
I don't drink.
Not my problem.
I had a glass of wine the other night. That was good.
I likes the drinks a bit. Oh, what are you selling pretty?
Me so pretty someday. Well, I don't drink.
I'm gonna start the slow clap.
I don't drink. All right. I don't drink, but dude,
Whoa, what?
this is a set. Do not separate. Who would want to? No, this is lavender.
That looks like weed until you see the barcode.
2 pounds of lavender. So I'm gonna make lavender sachets for people as gifts. So I've already started thinking about Christmas, and I've had the girls. They came over the other night, and they picked out. Who is this for? This is for Patricia. So these are just scraps, but we can make some lovely.
Lavender bags.
Lavender bags, sweetie. And then from the Allison Glass quilt that I'm actually making right now, Sam picked out this. Love it. And then Deb, I think she was high. Because this is old lady stuff. Like, but that's what she picked out. Whatever.
That's
okay.
what she picked.
That's going to be her lavender bag. And then, of course, Chris with his Mardi Gras Christmas theme. Actually, that looks like weed on there, doesn't it? Right here? It's weedy looking. So anyway, so I'm making lavender bags, and I just don't want to make just like the bags themselves. I actually want to like maybe take another fabric and then embroider their names on it and fancify it.
Nice. Church it up.
Church it up.
Church it up.
So I'm going to do, like, those are, and I'm glad I actually asked them and told them one of the things that I wanted to make for them, because I would have never gotten the fabric right.
Yeah.
Like, I had all this stuff, I'm like, here, and this is what they chose. I would have never chosen some of these.
Well, the last 2 years we got Deb and Patricia, their sisters, gifts. They've switched them when we've left the house. So
yeah, and
we
so
always get it wrong
exactly,
somehow.
I don't take offense when somebody wants or needs to do that. You're like, you would, your soul would rot in hell with.
I would wear the Ralphie pink bunny suit if somebody bought it for me. Well, I'd wear it anyways because it's pretty badass. But when I was that age, I'd be like, thanks, and I would be the kid
No,
that
because
wear
it just makes it fun. Because it was like, hey, at least we were in the right area, zip code.
True.
Right?
True.
Okay. That's all I've got right now that I've got on my radar. I'm really just focused on that quilt right now. I'm very happy that I got the rug done. So I do have more fixins to make rugs. So I've got you to take care of, and yours is going to be a surprise gift, a Christmas gift, I think.
It's a surprise that you just told me about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's like, it's like on the nose. I know that you're gonna like it. You're gonna pick out your fabric from. You get to shop my stash.
What hours are you open?
So yeah. So and then I also want to make our neighbor one of the rugs. I actually might switch it. They're older, and I think I would feel more comfortable if I made them like placemats rather than making something that they could potentially slip.
If somebody breaks a hip, you don't want to be in.
Oh my god, that would just make me feel so sick at my stomach.
Yeah.
So, besides that, that's all I know that I'm making. But I do have another story to tell, Aaron.
Go ahead, Madonna.
So, every day, the storyteller? What is it? Did you say Madonna?
Madonna, didn't she have a storytell song? I don't know.
Yes.
But she's 60.
60. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Madonna.
She's a Leo, just like me.
Leos are the only sign that I believe. Like, if I meet a Leo, I'm like, yeah, you're definitely a Leo. It's the only sign I believe in. I don't, that soul, stars, blah, blah, blah. If I meet a Leo, I'm like, yeah, you fit the Leo stereotype. Go on.
That's a fun story.
See?
So
it's a Leo right there. Me, I'm the lion roar. Oh, that was.
So every day after the job, and I get home and I lay down and I take a power nap. 15, 20 minutes. No big deal. I don't need hours and hours and hours. 15, 20 minutes.
I am making dinner. Go on.
Yes. And so the other day I was taking a nap. I wake up and I'm like, ooh, I gotta pee. Next thing you know, I'm screaming my head off because I don't necessarily flush the toilet after every time I use the bathroom, number one, because we don't, that's wasting water. But there was a mouse in there that was like slopping around, swimming in urine.
With the spiders and the mouse, you're going to think our house is dirty. It's not.
It's not.
It's just old.
It's not.
And usually it's been a few years, but for some reason the downstairs toilet,
at least once every year.
3 years or so, gets a mouse in it.
Or 2 years ago we had what was the night of the election of Trump?
Hell,
because a mouse died in our dryer.
I have a whole video of that on my
night.
personal YouTube channel that I don't know, someday I'll link it to it. But
so anyway,
poor mouse.
the mouse is in there,
rat.
and that's errand work. It wasn't a rat in the dryer.
It was a rat. And
yes.
the mouse in this one.
So I'm in there and I scream like I saw it, and like again I knew it was a mouse because it had a name tag. It said mouse.
I heard the scream.
You heard the scream.
I ran outside because I thought a little girl had fallen off her bike. Then I was like, no, it's not that. So I ran back inside and said, what? And right when I actually heard the scream, I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, he said, I hear from upstairs. It's either a mouse or a spider.
I said,
it's a mouse.
I said, I'm making dinner. Deal with it. No, I can't.
No, that's errand work. Like, I have to clean up cat sick. That's chip work.
So, the first question I asked was, is there urine in the toilet? Because the downstairs bathroom, like we said, we don't flush all the time, which, number one, it sounds disgusting, but we're very water conscious. And he goes, no. I said...
No, that's not true. I said, yes, there is.
Well, I meant that it has been flushed.
No, there has not been
I said
flushed.
the F word. I said, are you going to take care of it?
No.
I heard a whimper. No. So I got under the sink.
We don't want the mouse dead.
No, I don't want the mouse dead. So I get gloves on, disposable.
This mouse is swimming for its friggin' life.
Oh, I felt so
and
bad
you're
for
like,
him.
I gotta find some gloves, and then I need to find some carton thing. I mean,
no, because I'm not going to reach in there and grab a mouse and... I didn't want to get bit, so I took an old container of cranberry juice we had, cut out the carton, went down there with my gloves. I wanted to get a mask, but I didn't. So I'm trying to push this thing in. I'm going, there's pee in here, and water, and probably mouse poop. I'm like, hey, little guy. Get him in the container, put the lid on top. I go outside to our backyard.
Where the cat are.
We buried one of the cats many years ago. God, we sound like white trash. So I turn the carton on its side, and he slowly comes out and just goes, sorry, I'm covering the front, and just lays down.
Oh,
I
didn't
felt
see that
bad.
part.
I didn't know what to do. Covered in pee. And then he was just tired. I came back in the house.
And I said, what time is dinner going to be ready?
Yeah, we did. Said, I'm kind of taking care of something right now. So I went into our recycle. We had a pickle jar. I took the pickle lid, put some water in it, went out there, kind of went over him just to kind of get something out. Filled it up again. Gave him a little water bowl. Went in, got some cheese. Took it out to him, and he hasn't moved.
Did you light a candle for him?
That's not. But I checked on him like every hour, and he moved once like this far. And then he started shivering. I felt bad, so I covered him with leaves, hay or sheet, whatever. And then
next
day he's gone. Which I was like, great. And I was like, we do have some bald eagles and some owls around here. But I did my part, and I feel good about it. And I am sorry, Mouse.
We tried.
Don't come in the house.
Well, it's a good thing because...
He was cute, too. I don't know how it happens. I mean...
It's just
sewer and thank gosh they don't go in the upstairs bathroom where the real business happens.
Okay. I think we should have a reenactment.
Of what?
Troubles in the Turlet.
Oh my god, what is this?
So
these things are so unplanned. Like these things, like last few weeks, things that come out, I have no idea what they are.
So
what is this?
This all I understand is the word do.
Doo-doo?
So this is a
we need water, I think.
A candy toilet.
I want the blue one.
Okay.
Did you get this at Tokyo Trendy?
No, at the Asian grocery store.
I guess you actually have to put it together. This must be... Do you remember the game, for the people that are probably in our age bracket, which, 20s? Do you remember the game Mousetrap?
Show the...
This kind of reminds me of Mousetrap when you put it together.
Alright, I don't know what this paper is. Oh, there's stickers! Oh, wow.
Okay.
So you must have boy toilet.
I have the boy toilet, yeah.
I have girl toilet. Why am I gender stereotyping?
I don't know.
Okay,
this show has gone down the toilet.
It's a turlet.
Oh, I like the mess and everything.
So then we go to dinner with our friends last night, and Mercedes is all, so how did the toilets work out? And I'm like,
oh, is that what she's talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I got...
I don't know. Here's a straw.
What kind of toilet is this? This has like...
What's this part? I don't have that.
Well, wait. Do I stand it up?
Yours is a urinal.
I think mine might be...
I'd rather have the urinal.
Is this right? See, this is exactly... It's exactly how you make a cardigan. You don't read the directions.
I can't read them. They're in Japanese. I think. Excuse me for my ignorance. Is it Japanese or Chinese?
Alright, I don't know what to do here.
I don't know either. But I think we might need water, so I don't know how this is
it went in real easy that way.
Here, I'll show you the directions on the back. So I think I fill something in here.
Okay.
And then... Oh, you have water in your thing.
Oh,
is it water? Let me see. Okay, this is telling me to pour the blue thing in here.
How do you know that?
Because it said, see, there's blue. And then I close the lid.
Oh, I have orange, and I put that in the toilet tank.
Okay. I'm placing blue into the toilet.
What?
I really think I need water, though.
Oh, there's a flusher.
There is, but it doesn't move.
Oh.
Okay, so that, and then I close the toilet, and then I'm supposed to put, I think, this in as well.
No, you're supposed to put the toilet lid back on.
Yeah, but then what's the point of that? Because then I start...
No, you know what? Are you supposed to... This is a straw.
I really think it needs water. Can anybody here read Japanese? Seamus, our cat.
How did you open this?
With my teeth.
Alright. Just sniff it?
It does look like Coke.
Okay, so...
I don't understand.
Alright, I'm not...
Yeah, I need water. I think. Can I have some water? This is lemonade. I want to see if this does anything. Thank you for hanging in there with us.
It's a bit. Okay, so I did that, right? And is it gonna foam?
I don't know, because mine's not really doing anything.
Oh! Too much! It's too much.
I feel like it's caught underneath my tongue and it's bad.
It's bad toilet water.
Yeah, because there's good toilet water.
Tastes like Tang.
That's so it's kind of foaming at the mouth, at the lid.
Oh my god.
See? Then I put it underneath.
Did
here.
why? After you put both things in there?
No, I think. Oh wait, it's overflowing.
Your toilet is overflowing.
It's starting. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like. I'm gonna cow.
I don't have one. All right, so you put both in there, and then it foams.
I put water in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, mine's foaming.
I don't know if you're supposed to put both in there or not.
Maybe it's a chemical reaction.
Okay. Good times.
All right, so mine's starting to foam.
Mine foams.
Maybe that means it's clean.
It's the bubbles that are working for you. Scrubbies. Okay.
All right, look.
It is foaming.
It's my turlet's foaming.
It's disgusting because it's yellow.
Ew.
Okay. Good times. Okay.
All right, well,
With
we
that-
clean our bathrooms. We're going to sign off and say, see you next time. Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Bye.
I didn't put my lid back on the turlet.
I can close mine. It was just starting. It was too much.
Doesn't it flush?